Hi. Have you ever collected all your old clothes, the ones you don't need anymore, and dropped them off at a charity bin? Have you ever given money to someone who came to your door collecting for a charity? Have you got change for a 50? Have you ever thought what it's like at the other end for the person who receives your gift? Hi, I'm Mike Sears, and I'm recording the stories that I used to tell my kids as they were growing up. My kids teased me about my stories and would give them numbers, so this is my story number 13. It's about when I was growing up at the boys' home, Ruhamah, the home for boys from broken homes that my parents ran. The home was supported by the giving of people who believed that such a home was needed. So I know what it's like to be the recipient of charity, as we received all sorts of gifts. Some thoughtful, some thoughtless, some useful, some useless, some valuable and some rubbish, some given with an agenda and some without, and some weird and some wonderful. As a result, I'll be sharing a few stories about gifts, but this is my first. Now, when people dropped gifts around, it was always exciting. We would often receive all sorts of fruit and vegetables when people held their harvest festivals. At Christmas time, some groups, like a group called the Baptist Youth Fellowship, would get a whole lot of toys for the boys for them to discover at the end of their beds on Christmas morning. One year, the boys all received bikes from them. A local church once raised money so that we could buy an above-ground pool for our backyard. But one of our favourite gift givers was the Tip Top Pie Man. This man worked for Tip Top, a big pie maker in Australia. Now, this is a pie that I brought from the shop, and as you can see, it's perfectly made. But when it was being made, the pie making machine was putting the meat in, plop, 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 and it put too much meat in so that some of it spilled out on the edge. Then the pie, although it was good in every other respect, was rejected because it didn't look good. So this man asked the Tip Top factory if he could take the rejected pies and give them to the boys at Ruhamah. So about once a month, he would drop around the trays of pies for us to eat. And you'd be surprised how many pies a hungry teenage boy can eat. I remember once eating 6. But some gifts were weird. Once a man dropped around a bag full of chicken bones. The bones had been cooked and all the meat had been stripped off. "What do you expect me to do with this?" my mother asked the man. "Well, boil it up and make chicken stock," the man replied. My mother smiled, thanked him, and after he went, threw them in the bin. Once a man from the local shoe shop came around and gave us a number of boxes of shoes. After he left, we all gathered around, expecting to get a pair of brand new shoes to wear. But when we opened them up, we found one left shoe, and then another left shoe, followed by another left shoe, followed by another left shoe. In fact, when we opened all the boxes, we found that they were just full of left shoes. My father said, "Don't worry, boys. He's probably only given us one of the boxes. He's probably got the boxes with the right-hand shoes or the right foot shoes in his car. I'll give him a call." But when he did, the man explained that at his shop, over the years, he had a practice of putting the right foot shoes out on a table outside in the street. As people came along, if they saw the shoe and liked it, then they would go inside and try on the pair. But over the years, a lot of people had actually pinched, would you believe it, stole the right foot shoe, leaving him with a whole pile of left foot shoes at his store. And so he decided that he'd bring them to us. "That's okay," said Big Mike. "I can put one on and I can wear it to my fancy dress party. I can go as the cowboy, Hop-along Cassidy." Ha ha ha! "Well, I reckon that guy's got no soul," said Peter. "Well, I reckon it's a bit of a heel," said Bobo. "Okay, you lot, just watch your tongues." Anyway, and then Dad did what the man should have done. He took the box to the tip. Gifts are really hard to appreciate if they're useless, if they don't satisfy a need. Now, Pascal was a French mathematician who said, "There is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of each man, which cannot be satisfied by any created thing, but only by God, the Creator, made known through Jesus Christ." Now, have you ever tried to get a round peg into a square hole? No, a round peg is made for a round hole. The Bible tells us that we were made with certain needs. A need to work, a need to be creative, a need for friendship, a need for intimacy, and a need for God. Jesus came to satisfy that need for God, to fill that God-shaped vacuum in our hearts. If you're feeling like there is something missing in your life, if you're hoping that someone will give you something to fill it, then look no further than the perfect gift giver, the Lord Jesus Christ. He will fill that little hole in your life, that hole in your heart. God bless you. See you for story number 14.